I invite you to Honestly Because, a space where we make it raw and keep it real with unscripted conversations. I am your friend, Anna Lucas. Jeez.
Just get the first words out. Yeah.
Like when you were trying, just nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing out. You're
There
like
was so much build up, dude. It's just like.
Oh my gosh. I'm not rusty, you are.
Huh?
I'm not rusty, you are.
Oh, girl, I'm oxidized, girl.
So back when we were dating,
Yeah.
and we were close to getting engaged, or we had just got engaged. I can't quite remember
I think we just got engaged.
we were praying that God would like give us guidance on where He wanted us in our community to like live, to find like our first apartment and stuff. And we were like looking all over Toledo and whatnot.
Yeah, which has always been important to us as well. I mean, like anything that we do, no matter what it is, just asking God, like, what do you want us to do with this? How do you want us to go about this?
Yeah.
And I think
like, where are you leading us?
Yeah, and I think with such an important choice, like where are you going to live, especially when it's like we're just getting married, it's easy to be like, let's just get into a house at all, or let's just get into an apartment at all, let's just get a roof and walls. But to us, it was like, sure, but we just want to try to do that in a way that's pleasing to God.
Yeah, like where He's leading, where He's moving, and whatnot. And so it was kind of like doing our best to live like on His mission of what He was calling us to do.
Yeah.
And then so when we first got engaged, that's when, and we're praying about these things, that's when like He started speaking about us having a house and it being given to us, and it being something that like only He would get glory for.
Yeah.
And that we wouldn't be able to take credit for it in any way. Yeah. And at the time, that happened after we had felt called to a part of the Toledo area.
Right.
Into a community that was like really like kind of smaller and whatnot, and we couldn't really afford to live there. Actually, I remember that our first apartment was actually in Perrysburg. And at the time we felt peace about that apartment. And it was definitely in our budget, but like I remember us being there and kind of being like, okay, we felt kind of peace about this place, but like why? Like it just kind of seemed like nothing.
Yeah, there wasn't like context for it.
Yeah, and then like we kind of, there was like nothing around it.
Right. It was just fields. It was fields and your occasional plazas.
Yeah.
And even those had restaurants we'd never heard of.
Yeah. And so it was just kind of like this weird kind of thing where it felt kind of, we were kind of away from everything else.
Yes.
Even though we weren't technically.
Right.
And then, praying about it, God is still saying He's going to give us a house and stuff. And so, like I said, in our first apartment ended up being in Perrysburg. So God was speaking before we even got an apartment that He was going to give us a house. And so we were like trying, like hoping and praying, like, okay, like where's this house? Where is it going to be and whatnot? And then it didn't happen yet. And so we got the apartment. We're in this apartment and we're still kind of confused on like why we're here, why we were there. And then we started getting more clarity on like, okay, God, like our lease is about to be up. Like, where do you want us? Do you want us to resign? They were going to raise our rent, and usually anytime we moved, it was because our rent was getting raised. And also, like, we, again, always prayed, like, okay, Lord, where do you want us next? And so one of the big things was, like, okay, we don't want to be here if our rent's going to raise. And also...
they aren't doing anything new to it.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything new at all.
Yeah, and so then we were praying about it, and we felt like the Lord said, Mommy.
Yeah.
And that he was going to give us a house. And it was happening a lot that he was saying he was going to give us a house. This was coming from, like, strangers, people we knew that had no idea what we were praying about and what he had been telling us.
And it's a weird thing to, like, bring up.
Yeah.
And it's weird to say that, and then you don't even know what that means. Like, oh, God's going to give you a house. And it's just kind of like, well, where are the keys at? And, like, do I have to have money? Do I not? Like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
You know, do I have to bring fish and loaves? Because I don't even have that right now.
Yeah, and at the time we were so, like, literally poor.
Yeah, we were surviving off of free Powerades from that Circle K.
Yeah. God bless that Circle K.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our date night at our first apartment was to go to the Circle K, like, not even 30 minutes.
Yeah, thank God, because we didn't have the gas for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and we would go in there and get their cups.
Like
the big one,
or something like that. Yeah.
And get Powerades.
Yeah.
And we'd go to check out, and they would say, "That's all you're getting?" We'd say, "Yeah," and they're like, "You're good to go." And we're like, "Oh, thanks." And they were like only like $1 each.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even. It was.
For us, that was a lot.
Yeah, a gumball machine was more in my budget. But yeah.
Yeah, and so we would do that and like watch a DVD. Yeah. Because we didn't have cable or internet.
Yeah. Dinner was wet. It was Powerade and a movie.
Yeah, and it was awesome if we could have popcorn.
Oh yeah, that was a delicacy.
Yeah, it's jolly time.
Jolly time, boy. That's that butter that'll clog your arteries quick.
And your digestive system.
Yeah. You feel full when you're not full.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Highly do not recommend.
Yeah.
And if you do eat all the time, then I would recommend a higher quality popcorn for a while, and then try to go back. You can't.
No, you cannot. Pop your own.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because, like, I remember it being just kind of at least throwing me off when God's saying, you know, I want to give you a house or get you a house, whatever, and not really knowing what to do with that, not knowing what the first step to trying to obey that is. And then when it kept getting more and more specific, like you said in Perrysburg or Maumee, it was even weirder because I remember we were at a park. We were at a park in Oregon, I think. Northwood, yeah. And we never, like, the both of us had never gone to that park before.
No, I have. That's how I knew where it was.
Why? I mean, like, together.
Oh, yeah.
And together we had never gone back, I don't think.
I mean, we did a couple times, but after that time, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. And I remember we were walking and kind of exercising, like, just, you know, doing some little stuff here or there. And, like, up on this hill, there was this lady standing.
I was just sitting on a bench.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Maybe she's taller than what I thought then.
Or you're shorter.
Well, yeah. And then I remember her, like, kind of calling us over. And it was kind of weird. It was a weird situation. But when we went up to her, she ended up saying...
I feel like she was saying hi to us, and then we said hi back.
Yeah.
And then she was just, like, making conversation, like, "Oh, how's your day?" or something, and then we were just like, "Oh, it's good." And then she was just like, "Is there anything I can?" I think we asked her how her day was going, and then and then she ended up saying, like, "Is there anything, like, I can be praying with you about?" And we were telling her about it.
And then she just said a word, you know, that God, like, just confirmed that God was going to do this whole house thing. And it was just so weird.
And I think we were, like, vague about it a little bit. Like, oh, yeah, we're just, like, if you could be praying with us about, like, where God wants us in our community, like, we feel...
Yeah, I wasn't really honed in on the
No,
house.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I could we maybe could have mentioned that, like, we were... No, we didn't, because that's why we were so,
like, taken aback.
Yeah, like, what in the world?
Why did she say that?
Yeah, I think we at most said we feel called to mommy area, but we don't know, like, where.
Yeah, where exactly
like, where to move there, and if we could afford it.
Right.
And stuff, and that's when she was like, oh, I feel like the Lord's gonna give you a house, and he's gonna provide for it, and it's gonna be something like you're not gonna be able to take credit for, and it's gonna be in mommy, and like, or parent, like, well, like at the time it was just mommy, and whatnot, and it was just kind of like, oh,
it's kind of wild. And she even mentioned, I don't remember if it was toward the end, but she said that she felt like God told her to go to that park.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude. So it was weird. There was just so many things that were confirming this. And all the while...
Wait, you said what about the park?
That at some point in that conversation, I can't remember if it was at the end, but she said that she felt like God told her to go to that park. And I remember...
no, it was something that she had often did, where she would go and pray and, like, ask God to send people for her to pray with. Into asking for prayer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so she was saying, like, and then she saw us, and then it felt like the Lord was like, oh, talk to them, pray for them.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, because she lived around that area and went to a church close to that area.
Yeah, I do remember that for sure.
Yeah, so I don't think it was something that, at least for what I remember, that she was like, oh, God told me to come here.
Mm.
But whatnot, and then I remember we prayed with her as well.
Yeah.
About some things that she felt like the Lord was telling her to do, and and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so that was just one of the stories of, like, a complete stranger, like, confirming this thing that we felt from the Lord.
Yeah.
And that didn't really know anything about the story, and then like, people we knew out of church who didn't know
come up at
the
altar
story
calls and
would
just
speak over us. Yeah, these things that God was going to give us a house, and it was really random. We were just praying, and then someone would be like, "Oh, the Lord told me to tell you that He's going to give you a house," and all this stuff. And it was along the same lines. Like, you're not going to be able to get the credit for it. Like, only He will get the glory. He will provide for it. Like, and it's going to be in the area you're called to. Like, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so throughout this entire process. Well, I should say this first, that, like, we ended up not getting a house.
Yeah, that is a huge
We turned in our 30-day notice. I think at that apartment was 30 days.
Yeah, I think it was too.
And we had it so that it would end on the last day of our lease.
Yeah.
And literally, we were packed up.
Yeah.
We packed up in faith. Before even our lease was...
Yeah.
Before we even turned in our 30 days, because we were like, God's going to give us a house. And
I was like, all right, you said it.
Yeah, He's going to do it. So we packed. Yeah. And come 30 days, turn in 30 days notice in faith.
Yeah.
And had nowhere to go.
Nowhere
lined up. And the day of our lease expiring, we had nowhere.
Yeah. And, I'm like, dude.
Yeah, so, like, I remember a couple of days before, I was like, oh, maybe we should have somewhere to go.
Yeah, we wanted to make some phone calls.
Yeah, so I do remember calling my dad.
See if some couches are available.
Yeah, and asking my dad, like, who ironically lived in the area we felt called to.
Yeah,
and just bought a house there maybe a year prior.
Yeah, something like that.
And I was like, hey, Dad, because earlier he had said that, you know, like, I believe God's going to give you a house and everything, but, like, if it doesn't happen when you think, then you guys can come stay with me for a little bit until you find a place.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of, I got mad. I was like, what do you mean?
Excuse me?
Like, no, you don't understand. This is what God's been saying. Like,
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of got upset with him, and I think we got in a fight a little bit about it, and I was just like, no, that you don't understand how much this has been happening. We have full faith and belief that God's going to do this. And so a couple days before, like, our lease was ending, we had to be out. I was like, maybe I should call my dad.
Hey, Dad? Yeah.
Yeah, and you were like, yeah, you probably should.
Yeah. I was like, well, we called the Heavenly Father. I don't know what he's doing right now, but
yeah, he seemed to be busy.
Yeah. Now we gotta call Yo Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was so tough, dude. Because the thing is it was radical faith for us to do.
Yeah.
And not have a plan. Again, this is what was so weird about it to me. Is in most situations, most people would just have practical plans lined up for whatever they're going to do in this regard. That again, a lot of the time, it's not even praying about, where are we going to live? It's just like we're just going to live somewhere.
Yeah.
And we were trying to be, led of a spirit and trying to obey in faith and obedience and in trust. And all the way up to the point that, not that we didn't try to figure some things out, but there just wasn't, like, we were kind of lost in the process, and nobody really even knew how to try to help us in that. It was just kind of like,
no, they were just encouraging.
Yeah,
like, we believe with you. We have faith. Like, in Jesus' name, we're praying.
Yeah, and that is us, dude. Like,
yeah, and the whole time we were submitted to our spiritual leadership, our pastor.
Yeah,
and he 100% was like gung ho about it, and like radical faith about it, and encouraging us in that and everything. And actually, I just remembered, we were driving through Maumee praying, because we felt like the Lord told us, like, hey, go be in the community, go pray and stuff. Yeah. And so we would, when we could, drive through and just pray. And one of the days, I remember, like, I had as we were praying, I just got I felt like I could see the house. Like, I felt like I got a glimpse of the house. And I remember saying, like, and describing it to you, and you're like, that's really weird, because I felt like when I was praying, I felt the same thing and saw something very similar to what you're describing. Yeah. And then we were driving through Maumee one day, and I'm like, I think I just saw the house. Yeah. And you're like, wait, what? I'm like, turn around. I think I just saw the house. Yeah. And we like looked, and I was like, that's exactly what I saw. And you're like, that's very similar to what I saw. Yeah. And everything. And so we were like, whoa, in Jesus' name, like, yeah. And so we called our pastor and everything. And we're just like, we're going to steal this house. No. Oh, okay. Yeah. And we were like, we don't know what to do. We literally saw the house in Maumee and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, it's in a part where I didn't want to be, but I'm like, oh God, if this is the house, then like whatnot. Right. Then like have your way. But we literally went. My brother had stayed the night with us, my little brother. Yeah. And we went after church. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know why it was that day. It was just like, this day. We're going to go. Yeah. And we're going to get a knock on that house. Right. And we didn't even know what to do. We were just like, we don't know if we're going to get there and these people are going to give us their house. Like, we didn't know what to expect. We were just like, we just know God said he's going to give us a house. We're trying to be in this faith, man. This area. Yeah. And he showed us both. And this house looks exactly like it. And, okay, let's just go see what happens. And so we literally showed up on these people's doorstep, knocked, and granted, we got married in 21, 23, so we were maybe 22, 24. Yeah, something like that. And showing up with, I can't remember how old my brother was at the time. Yeah. Like, maybe 10? Was he 10? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. No, he was 8 or 9. Okay. Yeah. And which probably looked really crazy, but knocked on these people's door, and they came, and they're like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And we're like, "Hey, so yeah, are you interested?" Yeah, like. Yeah. Were you interested in like selling this house at any? And they were getting ready for a wedding. Yeah. That like they were in the middle of something. Yeah, and they were like, actually, we just moved in, and we were like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I just wanted to ask them, but do you even like it? It's like, can we encourage them?
You're so dumb. But no, I know. They were like, yeah, we just moved in 3 years ago. I was like, that's not just.
Yeah.
You've been here for a while.
You're not telling me you just moved in, Dad.
But
I'm trying to just move in. And it's today.
And to me, 3 years in one place is kind of a while. But yeah, so they were like, no, we're not looking. We love it. Like, we're not looking to sell it. We love it. And actually, we're getting ready for a wedding. So if you don't mind. We were like, okay, have a great day.
Bro, I'm like, did you talk to Jesus about that before you talk to me like that?
Yeah, we were so sad. We were just like really confused and was like, okay, God, like we don't really understand. And then, okay, so you get to like a couple days before our lease ending. Mm-hmm. And we still didn't have a house or a place. And so I called my dad back. And I'm like, hey, Dad.
Yeah.
So God hasn't provided the house yet. We don't have any... In the case, I said if you know, mm-hmm. it gets to our last day and God hasn't given us a house yet, I said, is it okay if we still come? Like if we take you up on your invitation and come and stay with you for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, you know. And so last day of our lease, literally evening, we worked everything. Yeah. Like, and we had nowhere to go. So we called my mom, mm-hmm. and her at the time her husband. Yeah. And asked if they could help us move. Yeah, and we went and rented a small U-Haul. Packed that and like put all of our stuff in it, mm-hmm. and all the way until the middle of the night with my mom and her husband at the time. Yeah. And then they drove with us to my dad's. Yeah. And my dad at the time was at work because they worked thirds. And so we get to his house and we're like unloading it all into his 3-season room because it wouldn't have fit in the bedroom we were sleeping in. And so it was just like we put all of our stuff out there and then like... Yeah, which was my old bedroom that we stayed in. When I lived there before we got married, just before we got married. And so, so we moved into my dad's in the middle of the night. And I remember because we called the leasing office, like kind of freaking out, was like, we need time to move out. Like, we didn't have, we didn't have like a place like lined up quite yet and everything. And the guy was really cool, really nice to us. Yeah. And because we were going to move into those apartments. Remember? Because we were like, okay, well, at least this is in the area. Like, we were just going to move into these apartments. But they had a lot of issues. I forgot about that, too. Yeah, they just had a ton of issues and a lot of complaints. And they had trouble keeping people and had a lot of vacancies.
And you could smell a room before you walked into it. Yeah. That wasn't okay.
Yeah, and so they had a lot of leak issues, a lot of mold issues because of that, and like a bunch of stuff. And so it was just like not great. And so that was going to be the place because they were going to get us in right away. Yeah. Because they absolutely had vacancies. And so, but we were talking to our leasing office and they were like, highly don't recommend that. Like, yeah. I know people who lived there. I know people who worked there. Not great. And we were like, oh, dang. Okay. Like, what do we do now? Tough. Yeah. And so.
It seemed like, this wouldn't be bad. But
yeah. Because we did have that when we felt like it was getting really close and the house hadn't happened. So when that seemed like a closed door and not a wise decision, we were like, okay, Lord, like, where's the house? Yeah. And so, we moved in my dad's in the middle of the night, returned the U-Haul, everything. And for about 2.5 weeks, we would work our normal jobs. And then we like put on Facebook and was like, if anybody has like extra work,
come do it.
Of whatsoever, any work, we'll come do it. And that was because we because we were in such a tight financial situation, we didn't even have money to, like, put a lease, like, put money down for our first month's last month.
No, we were still on the
security
Circle K
deposit.
free Powerade budget.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
And so, we were, like, trying to get money saved as quickly as we could so that we could find a place, too.
Yeah.
And so, when in that apartment was doing, like, some sort of deal where we didn't have to have that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
something like that.
Yeah, and so...
And actually, something I just remembered, too, when we were driving through Mommy, I remember I had a moment when we were going through praying where there was, like, the big Mommy water tower. It has a couple of them, but this one you could see right off the highway. And I remember I felt like God said, where you're going to live next is going to be behind that.
Yeah, and that initial house was over there, yeah.
Yeah.
That we thought God had showed us.
Yes. So, it really did seem like, oh, man, this is, we're in the right area, we're in the right neighborhood.
Yeah. And so we were working all day, every day, sleeping, waking up, going to work, coming home, changing, going back to work, and looking at apartments, touring apartments like crazy.
Yeah, nonstop. And I had like over an hour drive to and from work.
Yeah.
So it was just like, just trying to hustle.
Nonstop, yeah. And so when we were touring these apartments and stuff in Mommy specifically, and especially in that area, we were like, trying to figure out, okay, God, where is this, We've spent a lot of time looking for a house and stuff. We still believe for the house, but it seems like that's not what the time is now for.
Yeah.
Like, the time isn't for the house right now.
Right.
And so, we shifted to an apartment and everything, and we were just touring and stuff, and then we felt peace about an apartment complex, but the problem was it was, like, so competitive to get in there.
Yeah, extremely.
That there was a wait list, and that if you got on the wait list, it was, like, so, like, I think it was, like, a year or two, like...
Yeah, it was something wild. I do remember
and then
that.
it was like, but then you could, you can get on this other list and wait for, like, if people broke their lease to move out. And, and so we're like, okay, like, what does that look like?
Right.
And I remember we got on, or we were, like, talking with them. It was like, well, keep us updated, and we were calling them, like, every day. Every day saying, like... Yeah. Like, is there anything that changed, anything new? And she goes, actually, it's the funniest thing. She was like, we talked yesterday. Yeah. Or it was like, it was like the day before.
It was like 1 or 2.
Yeah. Max 2 days. And he's like, she was like, we just talked. And she's like, and we haven't had anything. And she said, and then I just get this call today saying that, this couple is breaking their lease. And they needed to move for work and everything. And she's like, so it's just, like, the craziest thing. And she's like, but I do have a guy here on his way from so many hours away, like, right now. And I said, if you get here before close, like, and sign this paperwork, then it's yours. But she said, but it's first come, first serve. So, like, you guys get here
Lord,
first.
Give that guy a flat tire, Lord.
No, we did not.
We pray different sometimes.
You lie different sometimes. Oh my gosh. So we went. We, like, raced there. We were like, in Jesus' name, let us get there. And sure enough, like, we got there. We walked in. She was talking to somebody. She told us we could go sit in the room at the table.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, ready. Wow. Like, while she finishes up with the people that she was talking to. And then she comes in, gets us started on the paperwork, and the guy comes in that drove for a few hours away. And then she tells us, after she gets him signing paperwork, that another apartment had just opened because a couple bought a house. Right. And was moving out. Yeah. And breaking their lease. And so that guy also had an apartment. Yeah. Ready to go. Yeah. And so... Crazy, man. So, we got to tour the apartment that we were going to live in. It was like special treatment. She's like, do you want this one?
Like, she was being super cool and just prioritizing us so much for no reason, you know?
Yeah.
It was really cool.
And so, it was really cool. And so we ended up in that apartment, within like a week or something. Like, the people moved in right away.
Yeah.
We were able to move in. The only thing we had to wait for was that they were going to clean the carpets.
Mm-hmm.
We thought we could move in the day they cleaned the carpets, but then when we got there, the carpets were still wet, even though they had put like heaters and stuff in there.
Yeah.
And had the heat blasting, and so we put everything in the garage that the apartment had. And so, and then we had to just go stay one more day at my dad's, we thought.
Yeah.
Because it ended up actually taking like a week, because we went to go there to get in, and when we opened the door, we just smelled gas.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
So we had to like tell the maintenance team, and if we didn't want to stay there because it was so strong.
Yeah.
And so they had to come like fix it and stuff, and then so we had to wait for that to get resolved. Mm-hmm. Which I don't think it was a week, but it felt like a while. But something like that, they were quick about.
They were quick about it, but they were also trying to be really thorough, make sure that there was nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so it did take a little bit of time.
Yeah, and so we ended up living in Mommy and Perrysburg there, and so whatnot. And so, through this process, we were getting really humbled about like our expectations of like what the promise would look like, what the process would look like, when it would happen, how it would happen.
Well, and that apartment turned out to be behind that water tower.
Yeah.
Because I remember I walked out one day to go to work, and I looked up and I was like, no way. So he was right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, and so we'd walk around that apartment a lot and in that neighborhood and stuff and pray and whatnot and ask God for guidance, and we felt so good about it because we're like, God, you led us to this house, or I mean to this apartment, to this area, and for a reason you opened the door, you gave us peace about this place, you know, and we just felt so excited, like, yes, we're finally in a community that God is leading us and calling us to, and we're, you know, we're here to do it. Like, let's see who he puts on our path, and like what he wants to do. And then COVID happened. Yeah. Everything shut down.
Shut everything down. No one
lived in there like a few months. Yeah. Well, you couldn't.
Yeah, there's just no way.
Yeah, you couldn't at the time. And so we were just like, how are we supposed to reach our community?
Yeah, sign language and gang signs. It's like the only thing we had.
And so that was really discouraging because the entire year we lived there pretty much. We were in a pandemic. Yeah. And obviously, as I'm sure everyone remembers, is like you didn't want to get close to people you didn't know. Like, you didn't want to talk to people too long that you didn't know. Like, you wanted to stay distant. And
like, it was so contrary. Because it was, you know, we're moving to this area because we believe God wants us to, like, be operational and reaching people in the area. Yeah. And so for it to, hey, we're here, and it was very mommy focused, like everything that we had, you know, felt in prayer, and other people, you know, came and told us. And so it's like, okay, we're finally here. And then the pandemic happens, and now no one wants to, like, you can't invite somebody over. No one wants to talk.
Everyone's quarantined, even friends and family. Like,
yeah. So it was just like, we can't even make a connection. Like, why are we here? Yeah. You know? Yeah. That was really tough.
Yeah, really, and it was like a small apartment, too. It was basically a studio apartment. The only difference between a studio apartment and this apartment was that the bedroom actually had a door. Yeah. But we didn't have a dining room. The living room and the kitchen were, like, literally connected. They were pretty much the same room. Yeah. And then the bathroom. Yep. And then that was it. Like,
a little outdoor patio if you want to get a little wild. That was about it.
Yeah, that was it. But yeah, so we were like being humbled in like what our expectations were, our timelines, what we thought the process would look like, all of that. Even how he would give us the house. I don't think we ever questioned him giving us a house. It just was like, okay, how and when.
Yeah, what's this going to look like?
Yeah, and so throughout this entire process, even in that apartment, he was dealing with this about the house too. And so we did look again. But the problem with that, like, the house was that we didn't have enough money. We were pretty much paycheck to paycheck for a while. I think in that apartment in Maumee was when it kind of broke out of being paycheck to paycheck.
It was, because for a while, literally after paying all of the bills, putting gas in our cars, we had $30 exactly every week.
Yeah, and pretty much that was groceries.
Yeah, like we can go out to eat with anybody, nothing. It was just truly slumming it, at least on the financial front, after bills were paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, and we didn't even know that, like, we were pretty much starving. Like, you would only eat your lunch. We'd only buy enough for you to pack lunch. Mm-hmm. And then, like, on the weekend, we'd buy a little bit extra to, like, have dinner on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then when I was working at Chick-fil-A, I would eat my employee meal every day, and that's all I would have.
That was it. And people were like, wow, you guys look healthy. What's the diet plan?
Y'all didn't gain the weight that...
Yeah, people say you get in marriage.
Yeah.
It's like, the workout plan was being broke, brother.
Yeah, and at the time, we didn't... I don't even know how, but we just didn't understand. We didn't even, like, comprehend.
It never associated for some reason.
Yeah, and so we were just like, oh, we just try to eat healthy. Like, we just try to, that's literally all we would say. We just try to eat healthy. And
it really was. It wasn't until years later we were victims.
Yeah, I saw pictures, and especially you had lost so much weight, and I was like, we were starving. We lost weight. We didn't gain weight. We lost weight.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, like, we were starving. Like, we weren't eating enough.
No.
And everything. And I felt bad because we had friends that said, like, how didn't you gain weight and all this stuff. And we were just like, to be honest with you, like, well, one, we weigh more now than we did when we got married.
Yeah.
But so technically we ended up, it just hit us late.
Yeah.
So, but at the time we were just like, we were actually really poor. We weren't really eating as much as we should have and stuff, and we just didn't realize. And so
solid weight loss plan.
Yeah, and so in Maumee we had some breathing room. We actually were getting groceries consistently, like cooking consistently, and
felt like we were balling.
Yeah, a little bit.
I really did.
A little bit, but that rent also was actually pretty affordable for the area and how nice it was, and it was gated and
had a gym and
garage, everything.
Yeah, and
so we used the garage for storage for things that we didn't have space for in the apartment because the apartment was small. But yeah, so God started dealing with us looking for a house again. And so we were so, like, even though we were doing a little bit better than we were in our first apartment, we still didn't have the means to buy a house. We didn't even, like, have credit
history.
Nothing, in which we didn't know that until our third apartment.
Because it was like our credit was good, but without the history,
my credit wasn't good because of my student loans.
Oh, yeah, we had to figure all that out.
Yeah, and so I didn't, that's a whole nother story. But anyways, so thankfully, we start, the mommy's apartment didn't, like, hold that against us because we had a good standing. We had to have a reference from our current apartment and stuff. Yeah. And our previous apartment, because we weren't living there anymore. And so we just didn't have any way we could pursue a house on our own, even though we tried to see if there was open doors. We would go to, like, open houses for sale by owners, like, all this stuff, and just try to see, like, okay, God, is this something you're moving on? Is this something you're moving on? Like, we would literally just try to
just anything we could try to figure it out.
Yeah, like, we were just trying to feel out his peace. Like, where are you? Like, where's your peace? Where are you leading us?
We really were.
And
just peeking around corners looking for
so throughout all these years, we were literally looking for these things and for the house throughout the entire process. And so we were trying to stay in this area, Maumee, that we felt called to. But in this apartment, we felt like the Lord actually brought it to Maumee, Perrysburg.
Yeah, like it was one community. Really,
yeah, because in us spending time intentionally in the community, we realized it was, even despite the pandemic, you could see it was so integrated.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we were just like, really felt clarity on like, oh, it's these communities together as a whole that we feel called to. Then we realized that we were in the community the whole time. Like our first apartment was in Perrysburg.
Yeah,
and
never
we were
connected.
Like, wow, we've been in the area you've called us to this whole time. That's why I felt peace about that apartment and whatnot. And so then our next apartment ended up being in Perrysburg as well.
Yep.
We moved out of Mommy.
Yeah.
So what happened with that apartment was, one, it was really small, and two, they were raising our rent, and three, they were bought out by a different company.
Yeah.
And the management changed everything, and they were not. We had several things that went wrong with the management, and we did not appreciate how they handled it. So like we were just like, we're not staying here. And then we were looking at apartments again and found an apartment in Perrysburg that we really loved. And like out of all the times we'd looked at apartments, we're like, why didn't we ever discover this apartment? Because we probably would have been there the whole time.
Yeah, probably would have.
Yeah.
Super nice.
And then we were there and we just felt like so discouraged. We were just like disheartened, like what this feels like we're moving backwards, like we're not moving forward in what God called us. Yeah.
Like, aren't we kind of moving farther away from the purpose, the call, and where we're supposed to be and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. And like we were talking to our pastor, and our pastor was like, don't draw lines on where God like can have you and how he can use you to reach those communities, And so we were like, oh, that kind of changed everything for us. That even removed some expectations for us of like...
That was like the first expectation.
Where we could live.
Aside from that lovely couple not moving out their house the day we knocked on their door.
Oh, yeah.
Aside from that.
Yeah.
But that was kind of where our expectations started to change.
Yeah, and then like the apartment was so nice and we were struggling with it. And our pastor was just like, yeah, y'all deserve nice things. Like,
yeah, because it was so nice. And I remember I felt so guilty. And it was just like... I did not even know the price. It just felt like it was so nice, therefore we just couldn't do it. And I remember I was coming home.
There were some things too with like the timeline where when our lease was up, they wouldn't have had openings.
Yeah.
But we ended up doing it. And that was the other thing where it's like, oh, well, then it's not working out here and whatever. But then we tried pursuing other things. And every door was closed. Every single thing was like,
eventually.
No. Yeah, and so then it came to like that being the only one being open. And we didn't even realize that until the conversation with Pastor. Yeah. And Pastor was like, well, it seems like your only option.
Yeah, is the nice one.
Yeah.
And I remember talking on the phone. I was almost home from work, almost home being our mommy apartment at the time. And I was at like the corner right before our apartment. And he just said, when he said, you deserve nice things. And he's so funny because he was just like, John. And I could tell like there was weight behind how he said my name. And I was like, yes. And he said, you deserve to have nice things. You and I deserve that. And I cried because it revealed that there was a structure in my mind that was limiting, how we were kind of going about all this. Yeah. And I remember I came in still talking with him on the phone, and you and I were like, the three of us were talking, had him on speaker, and he just kind of, repeated what he had said. And it was just like, I remember feeling just this kind of came off, and I was like, oh man. Yeah. We were so much on just, this is what you said, God. And you said you're going to do this, you said you're going to do that, and that's what it is. Yeah. So it's going to look like this. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And so then we found out that that's where God was leading us. So we called the apartment complex back and we were like, hey, is there any way we can meet with you guys again? Yeah. And torn, like, because they had shown us a show apartment. Oh, yeah, that's right. The first time we went. Mm-hmm. And then the second time we were like, but are there vacant apartments that we can see now? And they were like, actually, yes, there are. Like, go ahead and come by. Like, yeah. And whatnot. And we wanted a 2-bedroom so bad because we wanted to have like a creative space, creative office.
Yeah, like we'll split it.
Yeah. And so we just like wanted that so bad because we felt like the Lord was calling us to do like content in multiple ways. And so But we like budgeted and was like prayed about it, and we're like, we can't afford a 2-bedroom. So in which we did see a 2-bedroom, we're just like, we didn't feel peace whatsoever.
No.
And then we saw a 1-bedroom. I think we went back 3 times actually, because second time we saw a 2-bedroom, and then went back again. And that's when we saw the apartment we ended up in.
Oh yeah.
And so we actually went back 3 times, and we're just like, this is so confusing, Lord. Like, what? Like, why don't we feel your peace? Like, this is weird. And then
only open door, but no peace.
Yeah. So far, And so we went back again, and we were like, okay, we need to look at 1-bedrooms this time, because we sat down and talked about it. We ran the numbers. Like, we cannot afford a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And so they said, yeah, absolutely, let's look at 1-bedrooms. And so we looked at 1-bedrooms, and or a 1-bedroom. And the lady was like, because she had already seen us multiple times in like that week or whatever, she's like, if you guys I don't have to take you. You guys can just go look at it.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, sure, okay. Yeah. Let's go. And so we went in and looked at it by ourselves. And this apartment complex was really unique, where it's like every apartment had their own personal front door, like outside. Yeah. And so we went into the front door and it was a 2nd-story apartment. So like we went upstairs. We had like a small landing, our personal own landing, and then went upstairs. And then like there was a ledge of a railing, and then like vaulted ceilings. And it was the living room, and you could see the kitchen off the living room and the dining room and everything. And literally I was the first one up the stairs, and I just like stopped, jaw dropped, because I was like, God's glory is in here. Yeah. Like I could see it and feel it so strong. Yeah. And you were like, what? And I was like, God's glory is like literally in this apartment. Yeah. Like just like
I was only about 4 steps away. Yeah. I couldn't feel it yet. I was like, really?
Yeah. And so and then you come up the stairs and you look and you're like,
whoa.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He was in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it was just like wild, and we were like, this is it. This is our home. This is where he's been trying to get us.
He's been standing there rent free.
Well, when you own everything, you don't really need
you don't need to sign the leasing documents. Yeah. That's fair.
So then we knew that was where we were going to be next, and that was huge for us.
It was huge. That was like the biggest, after all this time of trying to find where do you want us to live, where do you want us to be, this was the first time that there was this like unquestionable, okay, like here we go. This is where we're supposed to be. Yeah. And it was just like, the you hear the angel choir just singing. It felt like that moment walking in, like, here it is. Yeah. Loudly. That was so much, that was very, very peace-giving. And it also made it feel like the journey that we had taken up to that point was not all for loss. No. Not that it was all clear. Yeah. Like the whys behind things, like, God, why did you do it this way? Why'd you show us this? Why'd you lead us like this? Why did we each see a house that looked very similar? All that kind of stuff. It didn't make those things make sense yet. Yeah. But it was just the fact that what we could say is that we had obeyed to the best of our ability, and he made himself present where he wanted us to be. And because he was there, we wanted to be there. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so we went down and signed the papers or the application. Yeah. Because we had to go through an application process and everything. And I remember that the way the lease stuff fell was that we had some overlap from our apartment. Our mommy apartment to the Perrysburg apartment, and so we just slowly after work would move ourselves on. I think we only asked for help with like our bed. Yeah, it was just like some of the stuff was a little bigger.
Yeah. Actually, and we sold as much as we could too, actually, to get into that. Not to get into that apartment, but because we hadn't had like a home that we made with our style, because like we were really blessed that when we got married, we had our own furniture from our bedrooms, but like we didn't have money for couch. We didn't have money for kitchen stuff. Like
much stuff was given.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was either bought for us or given to us, and so like it wasn't really like our style.
Yeah.
But we were blessed. It was really nice stuff. And so in this apartment, we were doing better financially and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I had gotten 2 promotions.
I
got a promotion in Maumee and then another promotion in Perrysburg when we lived there. And then you had gotten multiple raises. Yeah, so you had multiple raises.
Yeah.
And so we were doing better financially. And so we were just like, you know, we'll sell what we don't want. We'll use that money towards new furniture as well as save up for furniture that we would like. And so we did that. So we literally moved in. It was an empty apartment for a while. We sat on the floor a lot and ate dinner, like meals and whatnot.
We did. Just empty. But honestly, it was there's just something different because when you are where you know God wants you to be, you can sit in an empty apartment in the dining room where a table and a chair are supposed to be. Now, you can either look at that and go, here's what we don't have, here's what's lacking, you know, like this just hurts and I'm just going to kind of, you know, I don't mean this negatively, but I'm going to cry about it. Like, this is tough. I don't like this. And that's understandable. We've had many of those seasons. But what I do know is that something that really stuck out to me then is that we could sit in an empty apartment on the floor of the dining room without the table, without the chair, and eat some Chick-fil-A sitting there and feel so blessed just looking up and looking around at the apartment. It's like, man, like God did this.
Yeah.
You know, and because we knew he did it, it didn't matter that the other stuff wasn't there.
No. Yeah, and we couldn't even get in that. We didn't even say the application process yet. We went through the application process and stuff, and they said that everything looked great, but unfortunately we were denied unless we could get a co-signer because of our credit history.
Yeah, still too short.
And they said it's just you just don't have enough history. And I remember we were celebrating my birthday.
Yeah.
With my dad, we were out to dinner.
Yeah.
And we got so excited that we got the call, and so you stepped out to take it, and you came back in and was like, "This is what they said," and we were pretty down. And my dad was just like, what do you need? Like, what? And we were confused because we were just like, God, we saw your glory there. Like, we saw your presence there. Like, this is the only open door we have. And yet we can't move in. Like, we're not technically approved. And my dad was, like, asking questions and stuff. And so, like, what do you need? And we were like, well, they said we need a co-signer and whatnot. And we asked what that process would look like. And basically it was just that someone would co-sign that had made enough income that could back us if we were late on our rent.
They had to have the credit history or, like, a good amount of income to kind of justify it. Yeah.
I thought it was both, but I don't know. It was a while ago. But, and so thankfully, my dad was just like, okay, you know, you guys are young, you guys are just starting out. We'd only been married for 2 years at this point, going on 3.
That's crazy.
And we'd already moved 3 times. This is going to be our 4th move.
Yeah, it was an annual tradition.
Yeah.
To move in the beginning of our marriage.
Yeah. And so it was just kind of a lot. But thankfully, my dad was like, you know, like, I can co-sign. You guys are young, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys have never been late on rent. And we're like, no, never, not once. Like, and so, which we're very blessed to say that, and whatnot. But yeah, so he ended up co-signing for us, and that's how we ended up getting an apartment.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge blessing. And, so yeah, we're living in this apartment, and it comes time, 3 years pass.
Yeah.
And throughout this entire process, you know, it's like, are we going to resign or are we not? Every time the year renewal process came around, and this apartment was a little bit different where they wanted you to re-sign like 2 or 3 months in advance.
Yeah.
And so we were always like kind of panicked because it always came faster than we thought. And and so we were just like, okay, God, we're all right.
Like, we needed a net because, like, before we were so used to taking it right up to the line on, all right, God, you know, what do you want us to do? And so for them to say 2-3 months in advance felt like they wanted a 5-year plan. You know, and you're like, I don't know what's going to happen in 5 years, you know? And so it was,
and the catch was like, or it's going to go up to market value.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't resign.
So it wasn't just
by this date.
We'd prefer you to do this. It's like, no, there's a consequence to it.
Yeah.
And so that was always really tough because, like you said, it would come up. The way it would work out is you just get off the holidays, off the New Year. Like the year's kind of starting up. You're trying to kind of recalibrate. And
then that's when our lease would be.
Yeah.
That's when they were like, hey, renew your lease. Time to renew your lease. And we're like, wait, what?
That was highly, highly stressful trying to figure that stuff out. And then the thing is, it was hard because the logical thing was then to just stay at the apartment. We did not want to keep staying at the apartment. We wanted to.
Well, we loved the apartment. But we definitely wanted to pursue what the Lord promised, which was the house, in which throughout the entire time he had been speaking on looking for a house. And so we've looked countless times and tried to find like realtors and whatever, and then just things just never went forward. There was dead end.
Nothing we would do would make it happen.
No, nothing. So, and not that we tried to like take it into our own hands, but we're just like, okay, you're telling us to look for a house. We're trying to look for a house.
Yeah,
like
trying to follow the basic steps.
Yeah, and it was just like nothing was an open door. And so this happened for a long time, on and off.
Yeah.
And throughout the process of this apartment was like, we would find things that we felt would one day be in our house.
That was so huge.
And so we would like buy things and invest in pieces.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, we really like this will be in our house one day.
And that is like huge, like kudos to you on that, because you kept wanting to do that, things that you knew would go into a house. And there was so much tension you'd wrestle with because it's just like, do we even have the money to be buying this stuff? Do we have the space? We don't have the space, yeah. Like, where are we going to put this? And I remember I'd get up and do my morning routine, and I'd go pray. I'd sit in what became the prayer chair, which Sonny also thought was his chair praying. So, but I'd sit in that chair.
You never know.
Well, he's a little carnal, but
he's a cat.
Yeah, it shows. But the thing is that I sat there one morning, and I remember looking up at the ceiling. It was dark because I'd always be up really early for work, and my morning routine was like really early. And so I was sitting
an hour
there.
Drive.
Yeah, an hour drive. And I usually try to give myself about 2 hours in the morning before that drive. And one of those hours was to pray. And so I sat there looking up at the ceiling, and I remember looking over at the basketball that you had put together. Mm-hmm. Super cool. Never seen or even heard of anything like that. And I looked over at it. I remember God spoke to me in prayer, and he said, "This pleases me." And I was like, "Interior design?" And he said,
"No, mine is."
Yeah. Yeah.
It was mine.
Yeah, your vision, not mine. Yeah. And so I was like, why? Why does that please you? And he said, because you are already populating the promise. You are already acting as though it is here. And he said, I want you guys to continue to do this, where you are making a home in a place that's not even your home yet.
That's good. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I was like, wow. And I remember coming back that day from work and telling you, like, we got to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was a huge kudos to you, because you had the desire, and you had tension with the desire and even some guilt, like, what am I doing? But you were actually onto something that was pleasing to God, that was facilitating the future in ways that we couldn't have predicted.
Yeah. And it kind of started like this whole process of like making that apartment home. Mm-hmm. And because at leading up to that apartment, we hadn't actually like fully settled it anywhere.
Yeah.
We were always like half living there, half packed.
Yeah.
Like
1 foot in and 1 foot out, kind of.
Yeah. Whether it was due to space or whatever, it was just like we'd never fully like actually got to live somewhere. And in this apartment, even though it was bigger than our mommy apartment, it still didn't have the space that we needed to fully like live, but like God was just repeatedly challenging us to make it home and to like settle in, decorate it, like make it home a bit, a bit, because there was a point where we did it so much where we maximized every part of the space we could with the things that we were passionate about and felt called to, and just I don't know, anointed in and whatnot, and to the point to where it actually became like stressful.
It did.
Because
just to do the stuff that we felt like he called us to do.
Yeah, and was telling us to do.
Yeah. He's like, I want you to record this video, I want you to record this song, or I want you to do that. And you're just like, where? You know, how is that going to happen? Yeah, and so it was like really hard and whatnot. And so we were working on making that place home. And one of the biggest things was when we were buying things for that apartment, we not only were casting the vision that one day this stuff will be in our house, so let's make sure we like it. But also it was things that God was speaking on, like, this is going to be for your house, this is going to be for your house, this is going to be for your house. And so, like, literally God never let us, not that we ever would, but God just never let us forget that he was intending on giving us a house and was leading us to a house. Yeah. And so always in the focus on like almost the daily. Yeah. In some form, in some way, it was, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, to the point that it was like, can you stop saying it? Like, yeah, it did. You just do it? It became a struggle because it's like, okay, we're 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah. Years removed from people confirming 6 years. This. Yeah, removed. Yeah. From you saying this. And these were some like proclamations enough that people knew about it. Yeah. So it's really weird. And would ask us about it. Ask how it was reaching the community, and like it's like, this is nothing but closed doors. And then you get that awkward moment where people are like, and we would get like an open door with relationships, and then it would just be gone like that. And we're like, okay, God, we don't understand. And so I kind of feel bad because people just eventually stopped asking, which I was a little bit thankful for, because it was just like hard to constantly face that like we weren't where we thought we would be and what we felt like God was saying. Yeah. And so like that was happening with the house, or repeatedly through the apartment. And then this is jumping ahead a little bit, but another thing that pointed to the house was our cat Sylvie, our second cat. Because we had wanted a second cat because our cat was getting really stressed and lonely and wasn't doing very good, and the vet had told us repeatedly like he would do better if he had another cat with him. And I didn't necessarily want one. I was like, let's get him like a therapist or something. But it just wasn't. There was no therapist around that would take him. Yeah. You know. No. Yeah. The one from Secret Life of Pets 2 was busy. Yeah. They were booked out. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. So we were just like praying about getting a cat, but we couldn't afford to have a rent increase for another cat and like all this stuff. And so. And Anna kept feeling it. Anna kept like, we need to do this. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to deal with another animal. Like I just did not want to think about it at all. And like it just seemed like too much complexity, too much stress, especially. And then the apartment was cramped. Yeah. And so, or it felt cramped. And granted, we did really well with that place. Yeah, and I think so. Like if you look back at like photos and videos, like we did good. Yeah, and everyone who came said so. Yeah, people who came, which wasn't a lot, but if people did happen to be over, then it was just like, oh, you're like, wow, this is like really cool how you guys did all this and whatever. And so, so then we're on our last year at this apartment. Yeah, and we're walking into PetSmart to get Sonny's food, prescription food for stress and his health He's a complicated little fellow. Yeah. The most human cat. And I had stopped looking at cats. I'd stopped bringing it up. I pretty much stopped because I was pretty tired of like feeling like no. Like not time, not yet kind of a thing. Yeah. And I had knew that it would be good to get
another cat if we did move again, because this was the longest Sonny had lived. Well, this is the second place Sonny had lived, and then this is the longest he had lived.
It was in one place, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, if we move again, this is going to be something that, it would help him.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Like settle in, like stay, a bit, and kind of anchor him a bit. And we forgot to mention that when we moved into the Perrysburg apartment, where we saw God's presence, people told us this is the last apartment you'll live in, the last place you'll live in before a house.
Wow.
And we were like,
that.
well, yeah, we think so too. We'll see. Yeah, all right. All right.
Yeah, like what you just said to me, you just took the last 2% of my place.
Yeah.
Like I don't have anything more.
And at the time, we were just like, we just want to be excited about this apartment.
Yeah. Like can we just be settled here?
Yeah. Okay. Like let's just take a break on the house stuff for a little while. Like kind of.
It's just stressful, thinking about what you don't. It was so weird because I got to be like, hey, here's what I'm going to do. And you're like, I don't want to keep thinking about where I'm not.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you're missing it and failing and all that kind of stuff. And me as your husband, I'm like, why can't I get my wife a house? It's just like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
And it's like, I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
So when he'd bring it up to me in prayer, I'm like, can we just talk about something else?
Yeah, so the weather. Yeah. You chefing it up there.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Just trying to change the subject.
Yeah, and so people were saying like, okay, you're like, this is the last place you're gonna live for a house. So we're like, okay, yeah, okay, we'll see. Right. Definitely believe that God's still gonna give us a house. But we're no longer going to say, like, where, how. Like, well, not necessarily where yet. We couldn't quite reach that. But not when, how, what the house will look like a little bit. Still a little bit. Like. Yeah. And so, like, our expectations are just getting, like, kind of stripped away more. And so we were walking through PetSmart to get Sonny some food. And I just ran and was like, let's go look at the cats.
Dude. And I was like, I don't, like in my head, I'm just like, why are we messing with this complication?
Yeah, and so I went and looked.
Yeah.
And I saw our cat Sylvie, and I was like, oh, that's a cat.
Well, and before we even got down that aisleway, you like sped down that aisleway. And I had a moment with the Lord before I turned the corner down where you went. And I was like, God, I cannot take this, dude. Like, I'm at that point. Like, I cannot. Like, I don't know why we're doing this. And then I turned the corner, and I looked up in the aisle, and I don't know how else to say it other than I could see God's presence where my wife was going and could see his intention and purpose on it. And I kid you not, I looked down that aisleway, and I looked up and saw that, and I was just shook my head, and I was like, dude, are you serious right now? Like this is a you thing? I was like, okay.
He said, oh yeah.
Yeah. And then walked down, and then Anna shows me Sylvie.
Which her name wasn't Sylvie. It was Fabuloso.
Yeah, which she's a female, Fabuloso.
She is quite fabulous, but.
She is, but she's not Spanish. So yeah. But seeing her was like, oh wow. Like you could tell this was a good, loving animal.
Yeah.
And it was just like, man, like that would be cool to give them a home. But even then I was just like, God, are you sure?
Yeah. And so took pictures of her, got the application information, contacted them, filled out the application, and my gosh, it was like a tedious application process. It took 3 days.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I felt like they were trying to test our citizenship. I'm like, we've been living here.
Yeah, I'm like, I have a cat and he's still alive.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think I'm good. And in fact, he almost died and he's still alive.
Yeah, we kept him living, homeboy.
Yeah.
We'll get a survey from him. He'll tell you.
Yeah, and
and the thing is, I remember too, I asked God, I said, why, as I was walking down the aisleway, I was like, why is this happening? And he said, this is not for the apartment. This is for your house. And I was like, don't play with my emotions like that.
There's that H word again.
Yeah. It really was, dude. House became a cuss word. I'm like, Lord, can you censor that next time? Man. But yeah, so it was like, okay, whatever. Like, that's what you're saying. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and so he reluctant.
Bless her, Lord. Come on.
Can you help me?
Reluctantly.
So I just say it right.
Yeah. You had it. It was just the confidence. You had it.
He reluctantly
Reluctantly.
Whatever you said. Had peace about it.
Yes.
And so we did it. And I got really excited. I said, really? Like, really?
Dude, she did. And when my wife does that, like, she is one of the sweetest people. And so when she does something like that, my heart is just like, you know? And it was such a weird moment because I'm still thinking, why are we doing this? This is going to be stress. And this is a kitten, you know, like there's going to be a lot of trying to train it and all this stuff. And the only thing I kept coming back to was that I knew that God said it, which was weird to me. I'm like, I don't know why that would matter.
Like, why would God speak on a cat?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care. You know, I'm like, I don't know why he cares about this really. But, you know, but it was that he said that, and then when I saw how Anna reacted, I was just like, I mean, am I going to say no to that? No.
Yeah.
No, not going to do that.
Yeah, and so, long story short, we got the cat. She's here. She's loving. She's sweet. She's precious.
Most innocent thing.
Yeah.
An innocence that makes you feel guilty for telling her when she does something wrong.
Yeah.
It feels manipulative, but it's not.
No, she's so innocent. Like, she just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, which little side story is that Sonny's name is Sonny.
Yeah.
And so we got him back in Mommy during the pandemic. I was having a really hard time. And was kind of feeling lonely because there'd be times he'd be at work and I'd be at the apartment alone.
Yeah.
And so I was just begging him for a cat, begging him, like, can we get a cat? Can we get a cat? Can we get a cat? And I ended up finding out that I'm allergic to dogs, which I grew up with dogs on and off, but yeah, I just was like, cat's easier maintenance, whatever, and whatnot. And so he was like, I don't know. And I'm like looking at cats. I'm sending him cats. I'm like showing him like
indoctrination. Some call it.
No,
I don't call it that. But some people do.
Yeah, you just did. So, anyways, then one day we're just sitting there watching a movie, and it was like 9 at night or something like that, and I see this cat and this little kitten, and I'm like, ah. And granted, you see a lot of cats. You see a lot of cute ones. And you see a lot of good-looking ones. And there was a lot of cats that we wanted that didn't work out, that someone else had got to them before we could. And so and then this cat was different. Emailed them, called them first thing the minute they opened the next day. They said, hi, yes. Oh, I see your email now. Like, you were the first one to email us about it. Like, and that his name was Salsa.
What's with the Spanish thing?
Wow.
I didn't say it.
You're so dumb. Yeah. So, and so they were like, are you interested? He just was fixed today, or he's going to be fixed today. And like, so we keep him here for 3 days. And we're like, we will, and it was in Michigan. And so it was going to be like an hour or something drive. Yeah and we're like, we would have to drive far, and I said we wouldn't be able to do that during the week. And I said, so like we would only be able to pick him up today. Yeah. And they said, okay, let me talk to my manager. Came back, said, oh, you're absolutely welcome to come pick him up today. Like, so you come meet him, see him. Yeah. And then if you choose that you want him, then you can fill out the application and live with him same day. And we're like, no way. So I ran out. You were in the garage stripping a wire. That you were given. I didn't take it. It was given. Yeah, so we could scrap it. I can't remember. The money was to go to something that we needed. Yeah, it was. At the time, and so which God would bless us and provide throughout our entire just random like, marriage, whether through a wire or
someone say, hey, could you help us with some work at our house?
Yeah, and then pay us, like, wow, and then like. People would randomly bless us or whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. We're just like, God told me to give you this money.
Yeah, and every time we would just like pray about it. Like, okay, what do you want us to do with this?
And if someone said, God told me to give you this money, just lick the finger, count it out, and be like, is this the amount he told you?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So, anyways, so we went and got our cat, Sunny, and I'm not gonna lie, I cried. Because it was like a long time prayer. I was like praying for our cat and stuff. And so we ended up getting him, and he ended up being an ESA. Because it wasn't one of those off the line, like fake ones. It was legitimately, I was seeing a therapist and had been evaluated that it would be something that would help with my anxiety and depression and several other things. And so, which was another thing that he kind of like was like, okay, like, you know, we can get a cat when we find one and we can afford it too. And so we can go get him, come back, and I named him Sunny because his color reminds me of the sun and the warmth of the sun, and he was like such a bright fuzzball. Like, he's so funny, so goofy, wanted to play all the time.
Unbelievable he is.
Yeah, cuddly, everything. Like, and so his name is Sunny. So fast forward, we get another cat, and I had a list of names that I had picked out already in like faith. Yeah. Of like when we get another cat, and I knew it was gonna be a girl, and so one of the names was Sylvie. And it means of the forest, sun strength. And because Sunny also needed an ESA.
I didn't know when the chain was going to break. I was like, Sunny needs a cat for his ESA. And then I thought the new cat we're going to get will need a hamster. And that cat will need a goldfish. And that goldfish is going to need an amoeba. I didn't know where the ESA cycle would stop for these animals at first. But Sylvie... she is truly, truly Sunny's strength. Yeah. Like, for real. She really is. Yeah. Little companion.
It's a little funny story on what our cat's named.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was all centralized. I mean, it was all centralized in the house. And that concept that, you know, these would be things that would happen, you know, in a house. And it turned out to be the case. Yeah. Weird ways for God to say, hey, don't forget. You know, but that's the thing. It's one thing to say, well, hey, God, just bring me the money. Hey, God, just show me the address. Like, Lord, you know, open this practical door. But
hand me the keys.
Yeah. But instead, he would say things that were us making a place home. And I don't quite understand that, but...
and doing the things he was laying on us to do. Because we kept saying, oh, we don't have the space. We don't have this. We don't have that. And he just was challenging us to do it anyways. Do it anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it was like, before you get to where you are trying to go, you can make where you are home now so that you can make what will be home later, like really your home, and be better prepared for it. It's like the scripture where he says, you know, faithful in small things make you ruler over much. And it was just kind of like, man, looking back, I'm thinking he was making us, you know, he was teaching us how to be faithful in small things, even though I'm looking at a cat as like, this is insignificant to a house, but it was one of the small things.
And there were so many things like that we told people about, that God was saying, like, this is for house, this is pointing to the house, and, or telling us to do this, do that. And it was like such odd things. And we would tell people, and people were like, yeah, okay. Like,
all right.
Sure. Yeah. That's cute. That's nice.
Yeah, you get the courtesy pat and you're like, get off me. You don't understand.
And so honestly, I felt like we kind of even chilled on telling people anything. And we just kind of kept it to ourselves and stuff. And so, because it's just what it was. But I also think like our approach to it was different, where we literally took everything to prayer, literally laid everything in God's hands to our best of our abilities, and like covered every decision. Getting a cat in prayer. Like, I prayed for 2 years for a cat before we got Sunny. Like, you know what I mean? And so there was just all these things that we were so intentional about, and not perfect, but we tried our best to be intentional. And just constantly was like handing it to God. So
100%. Feeling crazy in the meantime. You know, it's like the faith like a child feels like you're being childish. You know, it really does. and it looks childish even.
Yeah.
You know, but it's what we had to do.
But it all paid off.
It did.
Yeah.
It really did, which is wild. It is wild, but such a blessing.